Hello guys, I'm just going to quickly say that the intro and outro are holiday themed because this video was actually supposed to come out during December. So yeah, and obviously I didn't. But hey, think of it as Iron Man 3. Enjoy the video! Hello guys, I'm the Canadia Reviewer. Now you're probably wondering why I'm underneath the Christmas tree. Well, why aren't you? Okay. Obsidian! Taking a look at the packaging rather quickly, as you can see it says micro changes combined with Obsidian. What do you want? There's backup packaging. It's got a box here and then it's got this flat thing. There's some creative names on this. I mean, Obsidian, that's awesome. Let's take a look at some of these other names. There's Freefall, that's actually kind of cool. Hemocron? Sure, why not? Stronghorn, I mean, that's not bad. But, Bullwark? Oh. Everybody's favorite. Sing him songs of glory days. And I would do anything for love. So this is Freefall in his alt mode, and as you can see quite obviously and clearly that I have no idea what this is. Maybe a dragonfly, maybe a dragonfly that's also a vampire dragonfly. When that show get green lighted. Just a quick look at this. I mean, he's got arms on the side. I like the back legs. He's got silver wings. The fangs are nice. I do like the head for what it is. Overall, while I don't fully understand what this is, I gotta say, it's alright. Let's go with the transformation! This is Freefall in its robot mode, and robot mode I really do like. I love the face, I love the aesthetic, I like the little dragon legs hooked up to his back. This might be seen as a distraction for some people, but at least it helps him stand because he's got a lot of back kibble. And yes, the set comes with the red Kre-O block. Deal with it! Anyways, he's got a gun. Beep beep! So, yeah, some pretty interesting patterns, and I gotta say, doesn't look too bad. Let's move on to the next little guy. Woo! Fly! As you can see, this is Hemocron. That's what I'm going to call him in his alt mode. And as you can see, he's some sort of beetle type thing that I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, it's got 6 legs. It's got the little legs and it's got the 2 big legs. It's got this big giant stinger thing. I don't necessarily get it. I like the front of it. I like how the claws kind of line up to the face. I really do actually like that. If you get it in the right position. I don't have it in the best position, I will admit. But you know what? I gotta say it's still cool. Only leaves off the head bits, so that's actually kind of nice. And quite honestly, I think it looks cool. Let's go on to its robot mode. see, this is Hemocron in his robot mode, and I gotta say, it does actually look fascinating. I love the color of the helmet. It's something that I have not previously seen in the Kre-O line. I love the little claws on his hands. The claws on his arms, you know, that's kind of weird, but, you know, I'm not saying that I hate it, and at least they go somewhere. Something kind of ironic is the two parts that are left off from robot mode and alt mode is the other mode's two parts that create the head. So I think that's actually kind of cool. You know, you can get these extras, so you can do whatever you want with those. Anyways, he does have some extra kibble on the back, but it really does help him out with standing up. Unfortunately, though, these little legs... Oh, that's off the camera. Unfortunately, though, these little legs are a little loose sometimes. Maybe, I don't know. But, you know, it looks cool. Take his head off. That's what he looks like, if you want to know. I don't know. Let's go on to the next one! So this is Stronghorn in his alt mode, and as you can see, he's some sort of beetle-esque thing, which is kind of cool, but kind of lame at the same time. I don't know, this alt mode is just way too simple. I do like the front of it, but other than that, there's nothing really going on here. And it's just kind of bland for me. So, yeah, I mean, the arms are there, the legs are there, there's not really much more to talk about with this alt mode. I mean, this articulates, which I guess is fine, but other than that, there's nothing really much to talk about, so we might as well go on to the robot mode. As you can clearly see, this is Stronghorn in his robot mode, and I gotta say, as a robot, he definitely makes up for him. I mean, this just looks cool. I love the drift samurai head. The helmet itself is the same color as the one with the knockout head, so, yeah, not the only Kre-O, but the only Kre-O set that I know of with this color helmet, unless it's on my, my other combiner. But let's talk about this. Anyways, I love the helmet. I love the blade thing that's going on the top of it. I think that's really nice. He's got a blaster. The backpack is nothing much, but it doesn't overcomplicate things, which I really do like. Anyways, that is pretty much Stronghorn in his robot mode. Let's go on to the next one. And this is Bullwark or whatever. I don't know. This one just feels like the one that they just, like, had last, you know, designed last, and was like, okay, we need to design something quick. Okay, let's just slap a couple of parts together. Really, it just feels like there's no real imagination. You get the backpack piece, the head looks okay, and then you got two blades on the back. Very, very unfortunate that there's no real imagination to this. Leaves off the head and the helmet. There's nothing really much more to talk about with this, so we might as well go on to the robot mode. Just like Stronghorn, this one definitely complements itself in its robot mode. I love the colors, I love the style, it's very simplified, but you know what, I just like it overall. Not sure how I feel about the helmet. I feel like this was kind of like, okay, we're just gonna slap this helmet on, you know, no big worry, no problem. But you know what, I think it overall works. I like the jetpack on the back. The one major thing that I really don't like is this little block on the back here. I've had that to where I push that in and then it just slides right off. Also, these swords don't really plug in that well, but, you know, whatever. All that's missing from the set is this little bit, and you can easily attach that onto the back. I'm not going to, but, you know, it's doable, so if you want a complete little figure, there you go. Anyways, let's go ahead and go into the combiner mode. Something that I found rather neat is that there's about 5 bags in this Kre-O pack, and each pack refers to each little Kre-O and the extra parts to the combiner. So we got 4 bags for each separate Kre-O. That includes all the parts to make the robot mode and the alt mode, and then we got an extra bag for the combined mode, and you mix them all together for the, of course, combined mode. Just something that I thought was kind of cool. If you wanted to separate the parts for each individual Kre-On, you can go ahead and do so. Anyways, let's go ahead and combine the shiznit!
Dracula, you are now my slave. I am your master. I'm not sure what accent this is, but you are under my power.
You say something? So here is Obsidian in his full combiner mode, and as you probably could tell, I couldn't find the piece to connect the wing, but hey, I found it, so whoop-de-doo. Anyways, you might notice that there are some changes, some slight alterations to this, compared to a couple of different photos of Obsidian, in fact the one that even shows itself on the box. There are a couple of things to note. One, the instructions and the box doesn't show the same head. It shows a different head being used. Number two, the version on the box is actually reversed to what you build in the instructions. And number three, there's a moment in the instructions to where one of the legs and one of the chests are being swapped around, and it's just kind of random. If you don't believe me, I can go find it. And the instructions are right here. Come on, where is it? Here we go. Okay. Alright, so I got it. And as you can see, there's some detail on those legs. It follows through. There's some detail on the chest, but none of that matches this representation, so I kind of don't get it. But whatever, this is the version that I'm going with, the one with the packaging head and all this glory and stuff like that. Now, stuff that I really do like about Obsidian is his color scheme. I think this one has the best looking color scheme to boot out of any of these guys. I love the wings and I love the jetpack, although unfortunately he is sporting that connection piece that, what is it, Bullwark had? Bullwarp? Jar Jar Binks? I don't really care. But, you know, I love how the legs are built. They're not really the best, and they're kind of crappy when you get them in hand, but I like the added little pinch leg bits on the legs. It doesn't just make them look like, oh, it's an obvious Kre-O body right there. No, it kind of hides that and gives them toes, and I really do like it. It also gives them a little bit of bulk. Speaking of bulk, look at his armor on his chest. That looks nice. An unfortunate side to some of these combiner sets is that they use two of these little bits. I'll show you. You got two of the things that connect on the neck so you can have a backpack and something on the front. And what's unfortunate about that is on some of these, the head is so loose because it's barely on that peg. So it's something to watch out for. There is articulation in the wings, which I really do like. He does have kind of a pincher thing. I do somewhat like the claws, but one, they're not really plugged in all too well, and two, you plug those in and there's a little bit of stress mark inside the feet. You can actually see it. I'm not going to show it off because I don't even think you can see it on the camera, but it is visible if you have it in hand. He does have a little gun, which I actually kind of do like. But, this combiner figure, I don't know, it just doesn't really work for me. A lot of the parts seem to, like, fall off entirely, and it's just not that great of a design choice. And I'm just not a big fan of the combiner thing to boot. Now, With that being said, I think this is probably the best looking one out of all of them. And the other combiner sets aren't far from it. I actually have a lot of fun with these. And I do like the separate combiner, or the separate Kre-Os. But as a combiner, as we look at it all together, a lot of parts seem to fall apart. He's got stickers, unfortunately. It's only 4 stickers, but they're all the same, so they're kind of boring and bland, and I don't know. He does have a nice design. You can swap out a bunch of parts. I do not like the fact that I have to pop off the arms from the ball joints. I hate that because the ball joints are on little thin bits of plastic. I haven't had one of them break so far, but I have a feeling that at some point in time, if I constantly do that, it's going to snap off. So, with kids, I don't know if I recommend this because it feels fragile and it feels like it's going to fall apart. For adults, collectors, you know, who like the Kre-O line and who are interested in the combiner war thing and whatever, and you got some of the previous combiners, I would definitely recommend it. But, you know, I'm just saying as a combiner, not that great. I can't remember what I say in my overall review, but what I'm telling you right now, not the best thing as a combiner, but, you know, I think he's one of the better looking ones. Speaking of overall, what? Speaking of overall review, let's go ahead and go to my overall review.
Gotta love the dangling arms. So overall, do I recommend Kre-O? Obsidian, I would because it's cool and it's the best looking combiner that I've seen for the Age of Extinction line. It's beautiful, it's scrumptious. Anyways, yeah, happy holidays. This is gross. Ugh.